When you think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
Well, I'm asking you.
I want to have kids. I don't see any benefit.
For giving somebody life?
You have a kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
When you think you'll have kids?
So the guy in the video, he asked her, when do you think you'll have kids? And she said, I'm not having them. And as we get into the clip, we see why. She says, basically it boils down to she wants to be selfish. Her life should be about her and she doesn't want to focus her time and attention on the kid. Now, I'm going to agree. If you don't want to have kids, you absolutely shouldn't. Don't bring kids into the world that you're not going to want to be responsible for. You're not going to take care of them. You're going to resent them. Like, I think that's a logical explanation. Hey, I don't want to have to give up my time, my attention, my focus to deal with kids. So I'm just going to forgo them. On the other hand, I do think it is kind of our responsibility to birth, well, women are going to birth them, but to have and raise the next generation, right? I think to me, it's like on an instinctual level. We got to further the next generation and put our genes into the gene pool. But if you're not down with that, if you don't want to have kids, if you're not going to care for them, if you're not going to want to pay attention to them, you absolutely shouldn't. But I do think we are here to have kids, right? We have all these things going on. We want to travel. We want to learn. We want to have this job. We want to make money. We want to experience this thing. But at the end of the day, it is our responsibility to bring the generations after us into this world and raise them. And I can't understand her ideology, if I'm being 100% with you. But the reason why I wanted to have this conversation is because I've seen this clip going viral and I saw another clip going viral, and we're going to get into the second clip. I'd much rather her situation where she says, hey, I don't want any kids. I'm not going to have any. I want to be selfish. I don't want to pay attention to them, rather than the situation that's in the second clip that we're about to see.
Trying, but I don't want 3 kids. I don't want this baby. Sometimes I don't even want my 2 kids. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't even want the 2 kids that I got.
You letting your emotions get the best of you. So you really sitting right here crying, bro. You sitting right here crying. You crying cause you pregnant. Like, suck it up. This is what you wanted.
I just can't.
What do you want me to do?
Bro.
So there's 2 things that I want to talk about here. First of all, like we said in the first video, that lady in the first video said, hey, I don't want kids. I'm not going to have any. Then you see in the second video, the lady, she already has 2 kids, and now she's pregnant with a third one that she doesn't want. She doesn't want the first 2, but in her situation, she's like, hey, I got to make the most out of it. The kids are here, and I have to do what I have to do to raise them. And this is what I was talking about with the Anthony Edwards situation. You can't do all the actions to bring kids here and then just abandon them and say, oh, I don't want them. It's a little too late for that. If you didn't want the kids and you knew that up front, you shouldn't have been taking actions to bring them into the world. But that's what I said on Anthony Edwards' situation. In this situation, she has kids. She seems to be looking after them. She seems to be caring for them. And then she gets pregnant with a third kid and is like, hey, I don't even want the first 2. And then the second thing is, what possessed this dude to be like, okay, I see her crying. I see she's pregnant. We know that women's emotions are heightened while they're pregnant. What made him say, I need to pull my camera out and put her on the internet? I don't get it. I know everything is content, right? Whether you're online snitching on yourself like Big U on No Jumper or on all these different platforms, or you're just embarrassing the lady that you had a kid with. I don't know if that's his baby mom or his wife. Whatever their situation is, everything doesn't have to be content. Everything doesn't have to be up on the internet. But, it's their relationship. They could do what they want. But I would much rather the first lady's situation where she says, hey, I'm not going to have any kids because I don't want to focus on them. I don't want to divert my time and attention away from what it is that I want for my life. And we do see that, like, as my generation and the generation after me starts to have kids, the birth rates are declining. People, for one, they're not affordable, right? People can barely afford to have kids already. But then they're like, I'm enjoying the things that I get to do with the money that I make. So I don't want to give that up to spend it wiping butts and changing diapers and all of this stuff. Like I said, I commend those people for having the foresight to say, hey, I'm not even going to jump into a situation where I had to be responsible when I know that I don't want to be responsible. Because in the second situation, in the second video, what I think you're going to see, or what I think these kids are going to experience as they grow up, is they have a mom that's saying on video, I don't want these kids. I don't know if that's because she's pregnant and her emotions are heightened, or she truly doesn't even want the kids. And I feel like they're going to get some of that energy. They're going to see some of her resentment for having to raise them, and she doesn't want to. She wants to be outside, or maybe she wants to be in her career, whatever it is she wants to do. Besides raising kids, she wants to do that, and those kids are going to feel some of that negative energy from her. They're going to get some of that attitude. She's going to talk to them a certain way, and now she's got a third one that's also quote unquote wearing her down. I don't think that is a good situation. People got to plan better what it is that they want for their life, and then pursue that, and don't compromise because you like this person or this person convinced you to sway off of your path. Get with people that also want to have kids. And if you don't want to have kids, then make sure you're in a relationship with somebody else doesn't want that for their future. But now the third baby's on the way. So it is what it is. She has to suck it up. But this is a video. One lady said up front, I don't want to have kids. The second lady, she has 2 kids, having a third. And she's like, I don't want any of these kids. But there's 2 here and there's 1 on the way. But those are my thoughts. If you like the video, subscribe to me back here for the next conversation. If you have something to say it down in the comments. This is the place for discourse. Till next time. Peace.